With me now is Tammy Reuter, who is an employee of the Washington Department of Veterans Homes, which we refer to in this neck of the woods as Retzel. But this veterans home isn't any different than any veteran home where this is being aired, be it Alaska, Oregon, Idaho, California, and I hope to get in Montana shortly. So this is pertinent information, Tammy, for whatever veterans home on the surface of the United States of America. Now tell us, Tammy, what is your title and briefly what your job description is?
I'm the recreation manager and volunteer coordinator for the veterans homes. So I work with the community in providing activities for our veterans and soliciting and giving orientations for volunteers and helping them to be successful volunteers and have the opportunity to outreach and connect with our veterans who, you know, at one time were forgotten, but thank you to shows like this in our community, you know, people are remembering our veterans, and I help them stay alive in their hearts in action each day.
Right, so if a person, because I want you to consider volunteering at the veterans home nearest to you, wherever it may be, how would they discover that information, Tammy?
Well, there's a couple things, because we really want to start and make sure people know how to find your veterans home anywhere in the United States. And so if you look on the internet for the National, I have to look at my notes, I'm sorry. National Association of State Veterans Homes. It is an organization that lists all of the state veterans home, and you just go click on your state and it lists contact information for any veterans home in any state.
Right, and let's remember right now, every state, I don't know that there's no state that isn't suffering some kind of budget crunch. And so we're looking to eliminate things. So your volunteerism is more important than ever.
And it is. You know, that's something we're very proud of at the Veterans Homes and WDVA, is that we are able to continue providing the services for veterans that we have. And our volunteers and volunteers who donate services and time, you know, are how we're able to meet their needs and go beyond. You know, we're able to meet their needs, but it's the so much more. It's the caring, it's showing your heart every day, and volunteers are doing that. Right.
And the volunteers also help with their recreation side. I know the post that I belonged to at one time when we had an auxiliary, unfortunately the auxiliary folded, they participated in a bingo activity once a week.
And we do, any group can assist by volunteering, and it really works at, we want to make the volunteer experience meaningful for the group or individual. So when you call your volunteer coordinator, we want to know, what do you want to do? What is your interest? What is your passion? I mean, after knowing you, PJ, your passion is talking to veterans and making sure people know about veterans. So of course I'm going to say, well, you need to come and lead a discussion group for our veterans, because that's just from knowing you. Now, sometimes we have chief selection committees through the Navy. We are a Navy neighborhood. And so they have to do a community service event. Well, okay, they're young, healthy sailors. I make them do all the heavy lifting and get out and do groundskeeping and things that really help us and make the environment better for our veterans. But it really is connecting with an individual or the organization.
And let's make a point. You do not have to commit to coming in 3 hours each week. I mean, if you want to do that, that's wonderful. But if you can only find time once a month, every little bit helps. Our veterans need your help more than ever now, because we just don't have the money to purchase things or purchase someone to do busy work like we used to do. And I shouldn't say busy work, it's important work.
It is important. Well, and one thing you may not know this, but some people are afraid of old people. They're afraid of our veterans at the Veterans Home. I still have volunteer work that you could do and become accustomed, become familiar with our veterans. I have one lady who's been volunteering once a month for the past 3 years, and she just comes in and scans medical coupons for us because it's a labor-intensive job. It takes 8 hours. but she is serving our veterans
Right.
in a way. There's no glory, there's no fanfare,
Behind
but
the scenes.
it's comfortable for her.
Right,
And
yeah.
please know that your service to our veterans through volunteering, it's all good.
Yeah,
You know?
right. You don't necessarily need to interact with them directly, although lots of those folks, as in any convalescent home, not everyone gets all these visitors.
No.
So if you could come and visit. I've went up a couple of times and we've tried to round up other women vets. I'm very glad that at Rutzel they accommodate women vets, and I hope that's true in Oregon and Idaho and Alaska and California as well, and just have lunch. Just have lunch. And I
Exactly.
really love hearing your stories. I would have a mic in their mouth and have to try to drip
Exactly.
to get those stories down. Yeah. Well, I'm sure pretty much all veterans home, regardless of what state you're in, is all pretty very similar.
Some of the things that if you're becoming a volunteer for the veterans home, or any veterans home, what you might expect is just like schools in our communities, our veterans are considered a vulnerable population.
Right.
So don't be surprised, you're probably going to need to fill out a criminal background check,
Right.
because as the volunteer coordinator, it's my responsibility to keep our veterans safe
Of course.
at the veterans home.
Of course.
You'll probably do some type of an orientation, fill out some paperwork, and then we'll get you started.
You know what might be fun is to do this with friends. You don't have to belong necessarily to a veterans organization, but I would certainly encourage veterans to belong to a veterans service organization. You could belong to Kiwanis, Moose, Elks, Lions, whatever, and go in as a group once or twice a month and handle some
Right.
bigger, either recreational or some bigger project. But you have to let people like Tammy know you're
Right.
coming. Just don't come in off the street and think,
Right.
you have to coordinate all
Well, and
that.
some of the things, if this may be airing in October or November, the holidays are coming.
Yes.
And everybody thinks about the holidays and doing something special. Now, one easy way to become a volunteer, you could adopt a Christmas tree. Get your friends together, make all the ornaments, use your Girl Scout group, make all the ornaments,
Right.
and come and decorate a tree. I mean, that's something that's very easy for people to do.
Right,
And
right.
then you'll realize that they're just a bunch of friendly people, and it makes it much more comfortable transitioning into.
Right, because just because you're in a convalescent home doesn't mean you shouldn't get some of that Christmas spirit.
Right.
Yeah.
But the other thing that's important to know is everybody remembers at the holidays, come and see me in January, because it stops.
Oh.
It becomes quiet. And so January and February, you've made it through the holidays with your family, enjoy that. Come and visit our veterans in January and February when everything else quiets down, because your impact will be even greater at that time.
Now, do you accept, say a church choir wants to come in every other month and just maybe serenade the
Yes.
veterans? Do you do that kind of thing as well?
I am committed personally in this budget time to always saying yes.
Okay.
We'll always try it once.
So even if you have an entertainment thing, you would be up for that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, as we close, if there's one important thing you want to leave the audience with.
You know, the one important thing is please check and your veterans homes in your areas. I know we've been talking about volunteers, but for people who may want to move into the veterans home, we now in almost all of the veterans homes throughout the nation do short-term rehabilitative stay. And so we're experts at making veterans better. We want to help you get better and go back home too. But do call me at the veterans home anytime, and I'll be happy to help you find your volunteer opportunity wherever it is, anywhere.
Okay, and as we leave, that national web page they should check out, because I'm seeing in like 22 different stations. Can you repeat that again,
Sure,
please?
it's the National Association of State Veterans Homes, www.nasvh.org.
Okay, folks, you heard it from the experts. Don't give it lip service. Help a vet. If you're a veteran, I want to say God bless you for serving. If you're taking care of a disabled vet, a double blessing for you, my friend. This is PJ with Tammy Reuter. Happy holidays.
Thank you, PJ.
Thank you.